All right, we're live here in the studio today, me and Bruce. We filling in. Kendall's not here today. We was hoping he'd make it. Jerry had something to do, but today hosting for us is going to be Jerry's brother Henry. So I'm going to let Henry take it from here.
All right, how's everybody doing? And welcome everyone to Big Don's Sports Production Sports Talk. So let me introduce everybody. First, we'll start with Donald Franklin. How you doing, Don?
I'm doing great, Henry. I'm doing great.
Good. And then we got the legend, Mr. Bruce Austin, in the studio. How you doing, Bruce?
Everything's beautiful, brother. Beautiful holiday.
And then Larry Pearson. How you doing, Larry?
I'm doing great.
Good. So yes, I'm sitting in for my brother tonight. So we're going to get started, and we're going to start with football. Then we'll get over to basketball. The first topic I want to ask you guys about is Saquon Barkley. Okay, so yesterday he joined the 2,000 yards club, and how you doing, Bishop?
Blessings to you, sir.
Good. So he only needs 101 more yards, I think, or 105, whatever.
101.
Yeah, 101 to break Eric Dickerson's record. So do you guys think, which he should break next week, if he breaks that record, will he walk away with the MVP?
No.
Start with you, Donald. What do you think?
Man, that's a tough one. I think he definitely deserves it, but I don't know. Like we said, it's still like a quarterback's game out there. I don't think he will. I think he will. I think a couple other people might have a better shot. Joe Burrow, somebody might have a better shot. Josh Allen. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't believe he will, though. But do he deserve it? Yes.
What about you, Bruce?
So I think by Lamar and Josh being so close together, it might be a good thing to give it to Barkley, because this record, people have been trying to break this record for years. And this is what people usually go for, the thing that's most historical. And this record beats everything that Lamar and Josh is doing right now. You know what I mean? Because they're so close together. I mean, if you gave it to either one of them, what could you say? So by Barkley breaking this, I think he should get it.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Larry? What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts is a 2-horse race right now, and only way Barkley can get it if he goes there and get the record. But the thing is, they took Barkley out with 10 minutes left in the game. He could have at least got 50 to 60 more yards in that game. But soon when he passed the 2,000-yard mark and got that record, they took him out. And there was about 10 minutes left. And on the team that's playing, they could at least got about 60 more yards.
Yeah,
So,
but they look at it.
So look at it like this, Larry. It was a blowout. So if the game was a blowout. So he had another game to play. So I understand what you're saying. They could have kept him in there, but the game was such a blowout. They were like, well, we'll just save him for next week. But I agree with you.
They take him out then, and then play him the next game. That'd be like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're already beating these boys bad. Bring them back against the Giants, and something go wrong, then the coach can get fired.
Yeah, but I think they did the right thing, because he had over 30 carries, and he wiped off 150, 160 some yards. Why would you leave him out there when he already knocked? He only need 101 more yards. How many times you gonna let him run? 40, 50? 31 carries is a lot.
Hold on a second, you guys. Kendall, unmute your mic. You can hear me, Kendall.
I can hear you.
There you go.
So Bishop, what is your thoughts on the if Barkley sets the record next week? Should he win the MVP?
That's a pretty hard call. If he sets the record, he's a prime candidate for MVP. I still think Lamar Jackson's going to walk away with it. That's a great achievement on Barkley's part. But, I mean, seriously, he's a good contender, but I still got a slight edge with Lamar Jackson.
What about you, Kendall? So the
Well,
question
I
was,
think Lamar Jackson's stats are crazy. He literally is at the point that he's going to have 4,000 yards and 1,000 yards rushing. Unprecedented. If you look at Josh Allen's stats, they're lower than Lamar Jackson's. And Lamar Jackson is responsible for more touchdowns. Barkley is about to break a record in 17 games that took Eric Dickerson, I think, like, it wasn't 16, it was like 12 or so. It wasn't 16, because I remember
it was
that
14.
kid Chris something from Tennessee broke it. Excuse me.
Don't get choked.
Something in my throat. I'm sorry. I think you have to give it to Barkley based on the fact that this has been a quarterback's league, but I think Barkley's achievement there in the playoffs is a lot more precedented. But the stats that Lamar Jackson has, it has. I mean, if you go by stats, it has to be Lamar Jackson.
But Burrow's got them both beat though.
I'm just curious.
Not with the rushing.
Yes, he does. Touchdowns.
Touchdown. He's got 40 touchdowns. He's pretty impressive right now.
How about rushing? Lamar Jackson has
no, he ain't got no rushing.
No. He the only edge he doesn't have is in rushing. Joe Burrows is, but Joe Burrows isn't even in the conversation. So now, if Cincinnati pulls off the unbelievable and end up in the playoffs and make some noise in the first 2 rounds, now you got to talk about Joe Burrows.
But see, the only thing on that, Bishop, the regular season is based on the MVP, based on what you do in the regular season. So right now, because there was some of that on ESPN, that he's close to almost having 5,000 yards with the fewest amount of interceptions or whatever that he had. But you know, his stats are crazy. My thought is now O.J. Simpson was the first running back to get 2,000 yards, and he did it in 1973.
12 games.
12 games.
So, whatever the amount of games he did. So he was the first player, and then he had other players to add on. But now, if you look at if Barkley does it, and then you look at his team's record, okay, in the NFC, his record would be up there. His team record is actually better than Lamar's. He's probably 1 game behind Josh Allen, but now if you look at it, say he set a record, he broke a record that no other player has ever done. I think that carries a lot of weight. Plus, since it's at the last game, I think a lot of voters were going to get hyped up and say, yeah, we got to give it to him. I think that's why he's going to win it. That's my thing.
Honestly, Henry, don't think it's going to work that way. And you can go back through history. Okay, you mentioned O.J. Simpson. The game was physical back then, but the game was a lot slower back then. Nowadays, they're running at race car speed. And when I say race car speed, you guys know what I mean when I say that, man. I mean, you hit the 2 hole and you got 2 linebackers already filling the hole pretty much before you get there. And it's great what Barkley is doing. I applaud him. I love Barkley as a player and as a person. Such a humble young man. But the truth of the matter is, and you know for yourself, for the NFL, they've been primarily more leaning toward quarterbacks. And so let's just call a thing, okay? They're going to probably pick either Jackson or Allen. Hopefully Jackson, but probably Allen. But let's wait and see. That's just my call on the whole thing. Barkley's not going to go unnoticed, okay? But he I just don't. I don't think the league, and I don't know if this is the owners voting. It's got to be the owners voting.
No, I don't think the owners vote, but I'm not sure.
I don't think the owners vote. The writers. I think most of the sports.
Sports writers.
But see, that's the problem right there. There's bias already with the writers.
Yeah, but you know what my problem is with this?
What's that?
They don't really have no real criteria with this because
no, they don't. No, they don't.
At first, all week they want to say that they want to give it to Josh Allen because he did it with less help.
Yes.
Then they wanted. Then they said we're not going to go by stats because he had more help than Josh had, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they turn around and Burrow started getting close. Now here they go. Well, look, Burrow's got the stats. Now all of a sudden the stats don't matter. See, you can't keep moving the goalposts.
That's what they do.
That you want it to be. You know what I mean? So this thing is, that's why I said I'd rather see Barkley get it. That way he did something that nobody else has done. And everybody did what Allen and Burrow and Jackson doing. So to keep it flat, I would give it to Barkley because he did something that neither one of them guys did. And nobody else in the history.
I won't see that for a while either. I mean, I don't disagree with you. I'm just simply saying if it's the writers voting, we already know how that works. We've seen it time and time again. Remember how close Adrian Peterson got. And remember what Minnesota did to Adrian Peterson in his last game. They pretty much took him out toward the end of the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
so,
but they didn't rush them 31 times to get close.
Well, my point is they took him out. He had a shot to get at it. I'm trying, and it was a divisional game. I believe it was against Green Bay, and they took him out.
Okay. So you guys, I'm gonna go with another question, but I'm gonna start with the Bishop on this one because it's about Minnesota.
I was not with that woman last night. No, go ahead.
Okay. So this is the question, and so now if you were the GM of Minnesota, I know it's your team.
I know where you're going. Go ahead.
Okay, and you look at the quarterback. Okay, he's having a great year. Sam Arnold, right? That's his name, Sam Arnold?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. So now,
put some respect.
He's going to be a free agent.
No, he ain't.
He's not going to be a free agent this summer?
He's supposed to be. They already said he's our man.
Hold on.
Okay, so, but here's the question.
Go ahead.
Now, a lot of times, when he was with the Carolina Panthers and the Jets, I know the teams weren't that good. He really didn't have a great year. He's playing really good. But now, let's just say he gets in the playoffs and he doesn't get into the Super Bowl or play as well.
Bite your tongue.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what you got to think about.
Go ahead.
Are you going to give him should you give him a long-term quarterback? I mean, a contract. You know, because
I'm like this. Okay.
I'm just saying he's playing good. But a lot of times, a lot of guys they play good and
I got you.
But what do you think? So that's the question.
All right, I understand. And if I'm GMK, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to give him an extension, and it won't be more than 2 years because I've got a quarterback coming back next year in JJ McCarthy. Do I keep McCarthy on the sideline? Because I got McCarthy for 3 or 4 years.
That was the other part I wanted to ask you. So that guy, the other guy was supposed to have been the one that started, right?
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, I got a $4 million deal with McCarthy. So he's kind of set for the next 2 or 3 years. The extension, I don't know if I want to do 2 years at $50 million. I would do something like 2 years at $30 million with incentives that can get him to $50 million. But they got to bring him back because McCarthy's not going to be ready next year. Darnold probably will be ready next year. Get me to the Super Bowl. He's got to come back. But the question is, how do we work the money?
This is the best record Minnesota ever had in their history.
No,
I'm talking about
no.
Yes,
no,
it is.
15-1.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Our best record is 15-2.
Yeah, 50. Well,
what was 15-2 last year?
When they had Cunningham, I can't remember.
Was it last year? If it wasn't last year, it wasn't because last year was the first year they played 17 games.
When Cunningham was there, they went 15-2.
They didn't play 17 games when Cunningham was there.
They were 15-2 with Cunningham.
No,
and
they never played 17 games in Cunningham's era. They just started that year before last.
No, listen, Bruce. They were 15-1, and they missed that playoff. They missed that kicker.
That's the one I'm talking
about. The kicker didn't miss
about.
at all, and he lost that playoff game.
It was 15-1, 1998.
I'm
Yeah,
talking
15-1. Yeah.
Thank you.
1998.
All right, I was off by one, but that was Cunningham quarterbacking at the time.
But I'm not talking playoff. I'm talking regular season.
No, that's regular season.
That's regular
15-1.
season.
That was their regular season. And thank you, Larry, for looking that up for me real quick.
There's no way they're gonna let Donald go.
They're not going to let him walk. The question is, how are they going to do this money?
I just see they give him 2 years.
I'm thinking like this.
They went crazy in the locker room, and everybody was saying he's our quarterback. Yeah. That means a lot to the organization.
It does.
You know what I mean? They might end up trading JJ. Tell you.
What do you think, Donald? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm waiting to see if they're going to make it. You know, like right now, Donald's proven himself, yes, but not 100%. So I don't know what they're thinking at this point. But I'm not saying that Donald's not. He's responsible right now. I mean, if he gets you guys to the championship, sure, he's got everything he wants at that point. But if he don't, he could be disposable at that point.
I tell you what,
again, I go back to what I said just a few minutes ago. It really depends on how they divide up this money. He can get a 2-year, $50 million contract, but I'm thinking they need to put some incentives in there. Get them back to the playoffs to collect the rest of it. I mean, don't just lay it out there guaranteed money. You know what I'm saying? Minnesota's salary cap is not that great that they can do it because they got about 5 or 6 other free agents on that team. They got to take care of all of these guys. Pace Jr.'s got to be taken care of. I can't think of his other name. The other corner.
25 a year. They're not going to get that. The Giants ready to get him. The Jets ready to grab him.
Exactly.
They sign him for $30 million.
The Raiders are looking at him.
Right.
Yep. So Larry, what do you think, Larry?
I think right now they gotta go 40 million or higher, or they need to let him go because there's a demand on good quarterbacks around the league right now, quality quarterbacks. And right now, if he can get you to 14-2, that's a good quarterback in that division. Playing with the team they are right now.
But the price of a quarterback, of a good quarterback, is what, about $60 million, ain't it?
Yes, $60 million. That's a good price.
Exactly. There's nowhere in the world they're gonna get him for $30 million.
You can't give him no less than 40.
At no less than
40. 30 with incentives, meaning that the total package
40 million straight up.
Quessie's pretty good at managing, but let's see what happens. See, first things first. Let's get over the hurdle first, and then they'll get to that. Right now,
but if it's down to the salary cap for a going quarterback is $50 million.
All right.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on that, Kendall? If you
want to bring Sam Darnold back,
you do.
You have to. I mean, the way he's playing. Did you see him yesterday?
I saw.
Seen him all year long. Did you see how they celebrated him in the locker room?
Yep.
He's
no way they're gonna let him
doing his thing, man. He was pinpoint. I've been watching him all year long. And I'm impressed. I'd bring him back.
Gotta believe it.
I want him back, actually, because J.J. McCarthy's not going to be ready next year.
Nah.
Let's feel about it.
Nah.
So I want him back. Did
you see how well he looked like yesterday?
Lawrence getting 50 in Jacksonville. Lawrence in Jacksonville getting 50 million?
He sure is.
Lawrence
was mediocre this year. You're exactly right.
Ain't not on one nothing. Look at Herbert. We're getting this money.
Yep.
All
the quarterbacks are getting paid. So it's just a matter of do they want to cover? Because I look at it like Kirk Cousins, for instance. He on the fence now, but he got his money.
But that was still crazy.
Pay more money than anybody in the league.
That was crazy. I would not have paid Kirk Cousins that kind of money.
Minnesota did.
All guaranteed 3 times.
They didn't ask me, Larry, so that got past them. When they called me, it was too late. I'm sorry. Go ahead. They don't call me for those of you that are watching.
my only thought on that, and you have to pay him because it's a great year. But if you look at his previous seasons, I know that the teams weren't that good. I don't know the Panthers and the Jets. I don't know. He don't have the talent that he has now with Minnesota.
Different system.
Yeah, different system. So you have to look at that, but you have to pay him.
Look how the Chargers look under Harbaugh compared to the last 4 years. This is the best record the Chargers had with Herbert in the last 4 or 5 years.
Yep.
And look how Geno Smith recovered in Seattle.
Same thing.
Listen, that's another story right there. The Geno Smith recovery.
And talking about that, another quarterback, Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's playing good. So now Tampa Bay, they beat Carolina. They killed them 48-14. They're still on top of their division, but they haven't clinched yet.
Nope.
They play the Saints next week.
They're gonna
All you
clinch.
got to do is win.
They're gonna clinch.
They're in.
Hey, Henry, now the shoe on the other foot. Look at a guy like Caleb Williams for the Bears.
Yep.
Rookie, right?
Yep.
When he came in the league, before he played his first game, all the big talkers around the sports show were saying this guy, first rookie, they
Can't
gave
miss.
Yep.
he needed. He had to succeed.
Uh-huh.
He did no more than what the mother boys did. They got
Well, think about this, Bruce. The big surprise was Jaden Daniels because everybody knew he would do well, but they had no clue he was going to be like this. This guy is playing out of his mind right now. And I know you didn't get to it yet, Henry. And when we get to it, we'll talk about it. I still question that last touchdown, but I'm gonna let that go.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about the Chiefs. While we are, we'll start with Larry. We're going so Larry. So now Kansas City got everything locked up. They really got nothing to play for. So I know they got to play
Denver.
the Broncos.
They got to play the
The
Broncos.
Broncos got to win to get in the playoffs.
Amen.
Yeah.
So Kansas City, they got under. Would you rest all your starters and just put all the backups out there if you was Andy Reid?
If I was Andy Reid, I wouldn't even play Wentz. I would play my third string quarterback. They want to start a second string quarterback playing a half, but I would play my third string quarterback
All the way through.
I don't want no parts of Cincinnati. Cincinnati, if they get in the playoffs, they're gonna hurt somebody.
Yeah.
I think they're just that good, and that's the only team that scares me against KC. Because Cincinnati, those receivers are really tough. So if I was KC, I'll play third string, not even second string. I want to give them the game. No excuses.
So I'm gonna get you guys' thoughts on that, but just think about this for what's going on. Okay, so now Cincinnati, the Broncos, and the Dolphins all them take up the last spot in the AFC. I think only two of them can make it. One's going to be out.
No, only one can make it.
One can make
One
it.
can make it. If Denver,
only one's going to make it right.
it's over. Everything's finished.
So we might as well pencil the Denver Nuggets. I mean the Denver Broncos in. If Kansas City doesn't play everybody,
and that's pretty. What
do you guys? What do you guys thoughts on that?
You're right.
Andy Reid lay everybody down and help Denver out.
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
I don't think he would be helping them. That would just make sense because of the Mahomes got a bad ankle.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It make more sense to sit them regardless of who they're gonna play because of the injuries that they got. You know, like Larry said, play the third string. They got nothing to win here, but they got everything to win.
Yeah. What do you think, Donald?
Well, you definitely don't want to get nobody hurt at this point. You notice the Eagles side hurts down, didn't they?
They sure did.
So it just.
They have to. I think he didn't pass what is called the concussion protocol.
Concussion protocol, no, he didn't.
Right.
Which they probably didn't want him to pass it anyway.
Right. Right.
So I'm just saying, it just makes more sense for the Chief to calm down, just like Larry said. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't trying to get nobody hurt at this point.
Right.
I'm there as healthy as I can.
Well, I can't disagree with that. Third string, I'd probably give second string just a warm up the first quarter, and then let the third string run the rest of the game out. And the only reason why I do that, because in the event that I need Wentz, I got to make sure that he's actually fine-tuned to where he's ready to move forward. I partially agree with you, Larry, but, you know, I would give second string the first quarter, and then third string could play the rest of the game. Now, let him prove himself. As I say, if you don't win this game, you're going to the practice squad. No.
So Kendall, what's your thought?
Well, I think Kansas City is going to keep their foot on the gas. I think Pat Mahomes is going to come in. He might do the first, maybe middle of the second half, come off of it. Like he said, it's nothing to lose, everything to gain by getting healthy. But I think, you know, they're going to play a little bit because if you have so much time off, teams are too rusty. You know, he's going to miss the whole week. You know, he'll probably come in first, second quarter, and then that way he'll have 2 weeks off instead of 3 weeks off, you know? Because if he doesn't play, he's not going to play this week, next week, then he'd be ready for the following week. Might be a little rusty.
Just a little.
Cost him.
Yeah, so I don't know when they got to make the announcement of when the players were going to be available.
Midweek, probably by Friday.
Okay, so now if you were the Cincinnati Bengals or the Miami Dolphins, you have to win, and Denver got to lose. One of y'all, both y'all got to win. But if you already know ahead of time that Kansas City ain't playing none of their guys and going to play the scrubs, how would you go about that game?
Well, first of all, let's look at Miami. Tua has a hip problem, a hip contusion or something of that nature, something he had back in college, if I'm not mistaken. So already their back is against the wall. Their backup quarterback did a decent job keeping them in the game and winning it. Yep. Can he do that 2 weeks in a row? That's a coin flip right there all by itself. All right. For Denver, like you already said, Larry already said it, win, you're in, no questions asked. Everybody else goes home. And then Cincinnati, even with a win, I mean,
they go home.
They go home. End of story.
Because one of the teams got to lose.
Yeah. Two of them teams lose.
Two of the teams got to lose.
If Denver wins, it doesn't matter what they do.
It doesn't matter. Right.
If Denver loses, now you're talking about one of the wildest wild card scenarios we've seen in a good little while. Because Cincinnati's in the best position to snatch that wild card should Denver lose. Miami's in trouble. And they're not saying it, but medically they're in trouble. Tua's not 100%.
But we all know if Kansas City don't play their starters, Denver ain't losing.
No,
Denver playing at home too.
Hey, Henry, no disrespect to you, Bruce. Dallas played their third string and was kicking by.
Talking about Dallas.
You didn't have to.
They played their last game.
I'm sorry, Bruce. I love you, bro. I hope you know that, man. But I couldn't believe. I'm looking at the third string quarterback for Philly, and he's out there like he's doggone Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I think he's going to the All-Star game.
So do you guys think that Mike McCarthy is going? Think Jerry Jones gonna get a new coach? Let's start with you, Bruce. What do you think?
No, I think they're gonna keep everybody, man. You know, I would love to see them start with a whole new coaching staff, but Jerry a little loyal. You know, he don't get rid of coaches too quick.
Mm-mm.
And he was talking good about him. Well, you know, he won that last game. He wouldn't let him quit. You know what I mean? I think everybody'd be back.
Then they went to Philly and got barbecued.
All right.
I'm glad Jerry see if he still want Cooper Rush. Came in right away. You didn't come in by chance.
Wow.
What do you think,
Rush him out the door.
No, Dak would have got killed too.
Come on, man. Please. This guy was throwing the ball everywhere.
No, Dak would have got killed too, man.
Man, oh man.
You know,
now all of a sudden they missed that.
Yeah. So what you thought, Don?
What was the question again?
Should Mike McCarthy, you think Jerry Jones going to bring him back, or you think there's going to be?
I saw that interview that Bruce said. So there's no doubt about it, he's bringing him back. It seems like he's going to keep the team together. But
yeah.
I don't know if that's a good idea on his part, but yeah. I mean, they looked so great. He was so happy. He's like, bring him on back.
Yeah. I go buy TV, man. I keep a hold of my TV.
I mean, but Pickett was a big disappointment. I tell you.
Yes.
Big disappointment. In the way they should have got.
I think they ran out of icy hot in the locker room, and then it showed.
Yeah, they look better. What's your thought, Larry?
My thing is this: Dallas didn't show me what a good team is and what the worst team is. First of all, they had a great offensive coordinator, which they let get out the door, you know, and he doing miracles other places. You had running backs that he could have picked up without any problem this year, but Jerry Jones refused to do that. You know, Jerry Jones thinking right now is unstable. You know, 1 minute he want to throw the team away, next minute he said we might bring him back. With Jerry Jones, you really don't know. So my thing right now, he's saying one thing about keeping the team right now, but I think he might even do that. He might start from scratch. Somebody put something in his ear.
Okay. What about you, Kendall? What do you think?
I think, like I said, I think that Jerry Jones is a meddling owner. I think what happened is that at the very early stages, he did Tom Landry wrong, brought Jimmy Johnson in, and they won a championship. And Jimmy Johnson left, and then Barry Switzer came. He and Barry Switzer both played at the University of Arkansas when they were kids, known each other for a long period of time, won another championship, and then it ruined the Dallas Cowboys. Because I feel like he had a position in place. I believe that Jimmy Johnson, who won a national championship, was the best coach the Dallas Cowboys have ever had besides Tom Landry.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that, how about them Cowboys was built because of Jimmy Johnson.
That's right.
And if you can get a little past that, then you're going to win, because the Dallas Cowboys have not been to the Super Bowl since then.
That's
so, right. and he's the most active and most vocal coach. I mean, owner. And if you're a player and your owner's up and talking like that, wouldn't you want to back them up? They don't seem to back them up. They just seem to stay quiet. Like, okay, here we go. We're just going to do what he says. He just needs to get out of his way. I think he should get rid of Mike McCarthy and start over. But let whoever he gets then in place coach instead of meddling.
Amen.
That's the biggest problem.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he's going to do that. What about you, Bishop? Did we do you already?
And I mean, it was already said, and I have to agree with what's been said. He's coming back for sure. There might be a few minor coaching changes. I don't know. The special teams coach definitely got to go. When you can't tackle on special teams, the coach has got to go. I don't know if the defensive coordinator is going to stay. They may change a couple of coaches, but I think the head coach is staying. So I'm going to leave that right there,
All right. Bro, how you doing, Jim?
What's up? What's up?
Right.
What's happening?
The question, as far as I don't know if should they bring Mike McCarthy back next year? That was the question we was covering.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, bring Mike McCarthy back and get rid of Zach.
Yeah, they already got rid of Zach. Zach been gone.
Get rid of Zach. Because really, Henry, it's a quarterback's game when you're talking about football. Tom Brady, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, even they.
No, let me.
Okay, but Jerry, I'm asking this.
And really, Henry, in the last 4 games, what's the world? Now they're talking about making him MVP. His team gonna be 8-8 probably. They're talking about making him an MVP because they won 4 straight. Now they're gonna get rid of Aaron Rodgers because he was supposed to be the quarterback for the Jets. That he's not doing it. It's a quarterback league. So to me, it's more than just the coach. If the quarterback can't get the job done, then you got to get you a quarterback. Not so much the coach, because even with Jimmy Jones, they won in Dallas, and they won with Barry Switzer. So he had the same team: Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman. They still won. So it's the quarterbacks. It's the quarterback, not the coach.
So if they get rid of that, should they go after another quarterback? You want them to go for Cooper Rush?
It had to be Cooper Rush. No, Bruce and them don't like Cooper Rush as far as the start.
What about Mahomes? Get Mahomes.
Not far as the start. But the thing about it, every team that's winning has a good quarterback that's doing their thing.
Who's winning?
All of them winning.
Who? How many?
We know Pat Mahomes is the champ right now.
Well, what you talking about?
But
then?
the rest of them is right
What
there.
else count? What else count?
Josh Allen, he gonna be MVP.
What else count?
Likely.
What else count?
Winning.
What you judging Josh Allen on?
Being a good quarterback.
What?
Yeah, but look at the stats compared to
I'm not judging my stats.
Yeah, but I'm answering you. Say he's a good quarterback. What are you judging him on?
A leader of the team. Being a leader. Buffalo, what's Buffalo record? 11, 12 and 3, something.
See, y'all changed the narrative.
I'm not changing the narrative.
You never won nothing.
You guys talking about Aaron Rodgers, right?
Listen, Aaron Rodgers ain't won nothing in 15
but he won.
years.
He won one. He's a bad quarterback, right?
No. I'm saying that Rodgers' record speak for itself. There's nobody to watch football gonna say right now that Aaron Rodgers is any good. Nobody.
Anybody watch football can say that Dak Prescott is any good.
Why was he up for?
That was last year.
What you basing it on? What you basing it on? The man got hurt.
It's a quarterback league, Bruce.
I'm saying, what are you basing it on?
Why you brag on Tom Brady so much?
His record before he got hurt.
You know why they brag on Tom Brady? Because all his fingers got rings on. All his fingers got rings on.
What about Malcolm? Malcolm Butler.
Why did they say? Let me ask you this.
When they played Atlanta,
why
they don't get no credit.
Why did they say the Giants so bad?
Why did they say the Giants so bad?
Yeah, because they don't have no quarterback.
Okay.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's a quarterback league, not the coach.
Yeah, but I'm saying you need a good coach. If you take Andy Reid away from Kansas City, would they be the same team?
No.
We don't know.
No, they would not be.
I give you a perfect example.
I don't want to take over the show. I'll
give you a perfect example. In the Atlanta game,
okay,
right? The coach made a huge mistake.
What about Bill Belichick and Tom Brady?
The coach made a big mistake because he had 2 timeouts left.
Okay.
And he had all them seconds run off, and he still had 2 timeouts. He put his rookie quarterback in a bad position.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So coaching got a lot to do with that.
And I'm giving perfect example. Hold on, John. And what about Bill Belichick then? Now here's the guy that won 6 Super Bowls with Tom Brady. Right?
7.
Tom leave. Now all of a sudden, this guy can't get a job in the NFL. He got to go to college.
Yeah.
So what? I mean, he was
want a job in the NFL.
3 years old.
You never seen a coach without a
job in the NFL. He was sick of the NFL because the teams that he would have gone to, he didn't want to go to the Jets. He didn't want to go to the Browns. He didn't want to go to the Raiders.
He couldn't get a job.
Yeah, he could have got a job. He didn't want to go to those teams. That's what that was.
Let's move on to another question.
Let me say this. I watched that Tom Brady roast that they had on Netflix. I watched the whole show. I wanted to. A lot of it I wasn't crazy about, but one thing came out. It was Tom Brady, not Bill Belichick. It came out in that. It came out in that Watch that Netflix special roasting Tom Brady. It was Tom Brady.
Everybody know you need a good quarterback, but you need a good coach to go with him.
The guy was
in the history have won a championship without good players.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If Mike McCarthy was Tom Brady coach, would he have won these 3 or 4 Super Bowls?
Maybe not.
I'm asking, what you saying?
And listen,
he won one with Aaron Rodgers.
The only way I can answer that is let me answer.
He had a great quarterback.
Let me answer.
Go ahead.
The only way I can answer it is saying that look, he had Aaron Rodgers, and he had Aaron Rodgers for how many years?
3 or 4.
For years. Okay,
he only got one. Aaron Rodgers only got one. Brady and Belichick got 6.
Right, but it was Aaron Rodgers' fault. He lost to the Giants.
You know what? Let me tell y'all what else came out in that special. The thing to do when you got a good quarterback like Brady, you let him go.
Let him play.
And even Brady was talking about Gronk because Gronk was there. A lot of they call a certain play. If Gronk didn't think it was going to work, he'd go another way. And he said Brady used to find it. You know, that's how you win games.
Right.
You know, he said, because Gronk was the one telling the story. He said, I'm supposed to do that, but that route was good. I went that way, and Brady would find me. Touchdown. Right. You know, he was bragging.
That's
your best receiver, right?
Go ahead.
So are you guys done with that?
I guess so.
Okay. So another quick question. Now they have the Basketball Hall of Fame. The players that are eligible this year And I'm going to name off the guys in each one, and you guys can say if you think they should be in how. The first one is Carmelo Anthony.
Yes.
Who wants to go first on that one? Is he be in the Hall of Fame?
He'll be in.
I'm just going to give you a one-word answer. In.
Yeah.
And
We all agree.
You all agree on that? Okay. The White Howard.
In.
He'll probably make it.
We all agree.
All right.
Okay. Amaro Stoudemire.
That's a question
I
mark
don't
right
know. He
there.
didn't play long enough.
He on the fence.
Yeah, that's a question.
Yeah, I
right
agree. He on the fence too.
Yeah, he on the fence.
Sue Bird.
In.
Oh, please.
Sue Bird in.
Sue
In.
Bird.
In.
Unanimous.
Yeah.
Maya Moore.
In.
Yeah.
Man, right?
Almost any from UConn is in.
Yeah, and Mark Cazal.
No.
Yeah, I said Mark was pretty tough.
He was tough. I'm gonna put him at the door.
I'm gonna put him on the fence.
I'm gonna have him knocking at the door, not on the fence, but standing right at the door.
Yeah.
Oh, Myles Stoudemire is better than him.
No.
Come on, Myles Stoudemire. Come on, man. What about Phoenix? Him and Steve Nash.
Yeah, but only thing hurt Stoudemire, his game was good, but he had a lot of injuries.
And then his off the court antics kind of hurt.
That's what it was.
No. He played good, but he if he'd have stayed healthy, no problem about all of that.
Okay, well, I agree on that.
He stayed hurt a lot.
Yeah.
It wasn't because he couldn't play.
And Robert Horry name should be on that list.
He hasn't been nominated yet.
His name not on that list. Robert
But
Horry.
I said his name is on the list. He hasn't been nominated, but it's on the list. Not for the finals, though. Not for the finals.
I mean, he got 7 championships. So if Mark Gasol's up there, I mean, he's a big guy, Rob. They got a nickname.
Yeah, Robert Horry ain't there. He should be up there with his championships. So I got number 2.
He wasn't that.
Got no comments on that one?
which one?
And I'm listening to what Jerry said. You got to remember, this is a writer's game when you're talking the Hall of Fame. It ain't a coach's game, not an owner's game. It's a writer's game. So if the writer,
and they probably never even played sport.
No, and that's the problem. They're picking Hall of Famers, and these guys ain't seen a lick of nothing that looks like basketball. Never mind the B, the A, the S, or the K.
Yeah. So now, next question. There's been a lot of rumors going around about Jimmy Butler, about he wanted to be traded. Well, Pat Riley came out and said that the Miami Heat will not be trading Jimmy Butler. So I don't know all that what's going on there, but do you guys think by the time the trade deadline comes, will Jimmy Butler be a part of the Miami Heat?
Yes, he will.
I think it all depends on. I don't think Pat Riley really wants to trade him, but I think it all depends on what they're gonna get for him.
That's it.
That's
it. Give him the right deal. Butler's no longer a Heat. It's business. I mean, what are you going to say? It's just strictly business. Give him the right deal. Bring back the right amount of players. Jimmy Butler's heading to wherever he's heading. Utah. Maybe they might resurrect Seattle. No, let me stop. That won't happen. But anyway,
I think Pat Riley going to keep him, and he's going to put him, and he's going to put him in the doghouse. Because I watched the game the other night, and Jimmy Butler, he played, but he didn't play that much. I mean, they're going more with Hero and the other guys, that guy Robert, whatever his name is. Yeah. They go more with them than Jimmy Butler. I think that Pat Riley, because I just don't think that he likes Jimmy Butler. Like Donald said Friday, Jimmy Butler has a bad attitude. All right, and Pat Riley type of guy, he's not going to put up with that. I think he's going to keep him and put him in the doghouse. I put him in the doghouse.
I won't disagree with you, Jerry, but keep this in mind. It's not that Butler has a bad attitude. Pat Riley has a little pompous attitude of his own. Ask my man sitting right next to you, Rolando Blackman and Davis sitting on the bench doing what while John Stark went over. Come on, man.
Because that's one of the reasons why John James went back to Cleveland because of Pat Riley. Because Pat Riley controls everything. And remember, Pat Riley and Shaq, I mean, they got into it, and that's why he traded Shaq to Phoenix, because they got into it in practice. Because Shaq was tired of Pat Riley the way he is. But Jimmy Butler's not LeBron. He's not Shaq. He don't have that statue like them guys do. But Pat Riley, because he told him to be quiet and play basketball. earlier this season.
Right.
So what he gonna do? He gonna keep him, but he gonna put him in the doghouse. Watch.
And he the man to do it.
He can do it. He gonna punish you.
He done proved he'll do that.
He gonna punish you.
Pat Riley can play dirty.
And he can do
Listen, I don't think Butler will care one way or the other as long as he get his money.
Oh, he's getting paid. No doubt.
Yeah, Bishop.
No, he won't care.
No, he won the championship.
If Pat Riley sit him down, he's gonna care because he need to be playing in order.
Right.
Exactly.
In order to get picked up.
But I think if Pat Riley did that, he hurt his team more than he hurt Butler.
That's exactly right.
He'll do it.
Right.
Bruce. Yeah, but I'm not saying he won't, but I'm saying
if he does.
Yeah.
If I'm on that team and I know Pat Riley sitting our star player down because of ego or whatever, you think I'm gonna go out there and bust my butt?
Look, this is your chance. Otherwise, you could be sitting down.
I'm gonna get no.
You got to remember.
Yeah, but
they ain't gonna win no way.
Yeah, but
they ain't gonna win with Jimmy or without him.
But you know what, Don? I'm not gonna go out there and get injured. I'm not going out there to get injured because you set the star player down.
I'm saying, if I'm a player and I think we got a better chance of winning with Jimmy, and the general manager don't care if we lose by putting Butler down, you think I'm gonna go out there and play my hardest?
These young boys is gonna forget about Butler and they get their chance. They're gonna get out there and play their hardest.
They gotta play.
And Kawhi Leonard, because Greg Popovich did the same thing. He caused a trade in Kawhi Leonard to Toronto, right? Because because he figured, I mean, I'm not going to trade you to the West Coast. I'm going to send you all the way to Toronto. And he still won the ring. But that was his way of trying to get back to Kawhi Leonard because Greg Popovich almost similar. Yeah, he's almost similar.
Sometimes they come back to bite you in the panties.
Right.
But Riley don't care. He don't care.
He don't care.
Yeah. Anybody else want to touch on that before we move on?
Butler said
his ego's bigger than Jimmy Butler's ego.
They might not like Butler anybody.
Right.
All right, so D'Angelo Russell, Lakers traded him.
Yeah.
They brought in Finney Smith and Shake Milton. So what do you guys think about that trade?
Finney Smith.
Who they get? Is he good?
Yeah, he's a good defense. He's no offense.
I think he's been the balance for the Nets, wasn't he? He's been the Nets offensive balance. I don't watch the Nets hardly at all. I mean,
he played with Dallas Mavericks though.
But I'm trying to figure out how this went because I heard the trade, but I didn't follow the trade. Who went where? So I'm trying to play catch up. So you can excuse me from this one while I listen to you guys.
Yeah, but they sent Russell and a no name plus a couple second round draft.
Right? They traded Russell for some bubble, right?
No, but they benefited. They got a big man what they needed. He could play power forward or small forward. Finney Smith.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they definitely benefited.
It's not gonna. He's not that superstar.
No, he ain't gonna.
So it's not going to really benefit them. They're going to be in the same spot that they're in. They want to get rid of that D'Angelo Russell.
They want to get rid of Russell.
But they said they're better shooters, though.
They did. They accomplished what they want. They want to get rid of Russell.
They want to get rid of
Russell. He was terrible, so they benefited.
That's all that was. But are they going to be any better? They're going to be about the
So
same.
basically, if they were an 8 seed before, they're just an upgraded 8 seed. That's it.
I think they'll be better.
It'll be better.
Because Russell, you can't depend on Russell.
Right.
Wow.
Well, I've been hearing that all year. Wow.
But a couple years, not 1 year.
As you said, Smith will take them over the hump, but they definitely.
Well, maybe they're making room to bring Brownie back.
Hey.
You know what? Come on.
Brownie averaged about 22.
Hey, Don, that's the most expensive G League player ever in the history of the G League.
But he get about 22 points a game.
Now, 30. They didn't have 40 or they would have said that. I think that somebody brought up with the
Well, I know he had 32 times.
He had 23. He did.
Oh, that's
Wow.
Today is the LeBron James 40th birthday.
Happy birthday.
That's right. He might come up.
Lakers didn't
So
lose
the
no money.
question that I'm going to pose, and everybody chime in, and you guys think, so if LeBron at 40, it's still just as good when he was 18, when he first stepped foot on the NBA basketball court.
And that's something.
He has the greatest career So by having the greatest career, why don't we consider him to be the greatest basketball player? And also, you can add into that, why is LeBron James also the most hated player?
You and I talked about that too.
So you got so Jerry, I'll let you pick it up from there. You start off, and then everybody can chime in.
Well, I only got 10 minutes, so, but I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, right. I know, but
You had that conversation on the phone. LeBron James is the most hated player. I mean, but the sad thing about it, he's a black brother, right, with no father. I mean, his mother had him when she was 16. The man married his high school sweetheart. Never got in trouble.
Did everything right.
Did everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Sending kids to college, doing everything that you want to see from a black brother. He's also a billionaire. The first player became a billionaire that's playing, not somebody after they retire. He's a billionaire. And people hate success.
No, I'll tell you why they hate him.
But they hate success. Though.
Yeah, but I'll tell you exactly why they hate him.
Why?
They hate him because they love Mike that much, and he the first person that gave Mike competition for who gonna be the GOAT. Okay. That's why they hate LeBron. Because people said, no, he know Mike.
But he know Mike. But it's a vicious type of hate, though.
It's the vicious. It's the same thing with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark.
And Caitlin Clark, yeah.
They love Caitlin so much that they hate Angel.
Right. Okay.
Same thing with LeBron and Mike. People, if you mention Mike or if you mention LeBron, first thing say he ain't better than Mike.
Right.
So they bring that fear because he's so close, and a lot of people still got LeBron as the GOAT.
Right.
I mean, it ain't in stone that Mike's the GOAT.
Right.
There's a lot of people that think that LeBron's the GOAT.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I think that's why they hate LeBron so much, because he's the first player that can say that he's in competition with Mike of being that GOAT.
But also, like I said, I mean, far from the basketball standpoint, but I'm talking about even everything he does outside of basketball. You know, I mean, it's more like when they hated Muhammad Ali because he didn't go in the war. So the white folks hated him because he was a draft dodger to them. They hate LeBron. The only thing I can think of, Bruce, because he's so successful. I mean, and they can't find no dirt on him.
Yeah, but
he's successful. Because you can't talk about his game because he got a good basketball game.
Yeah, but check it out. Like I tell you before, Muhammad Ali wasn't no draft dodger.
I know he was. I'm saying.
No, but
we know that, but that's what they call him.
No.
You never heard he was a draft dodger, Bruce?
Like I said before, man, this way this show started.
They
started. They used that for excuse.
That's right.
People used to get tickets to go just to see Muhammad Ali get beat because he ran his mouth.
Right.
They didn't care nothing about him being no draft dodger. All them folks ran to Canada. They wanted to see Muhammad Ali get beat. He run around talking about I'm pretty and I'm good and all of that. That's why they hated Ali. It had nothing to do with him not going in the service.
Let me direct back toward the subject here. LeBron, for some of the reasons that were already mentioned, hated because he was successful. He did something that he didn't fit the quintessential American dream. You know, coming from a two-parent home, white picket fence, the whole 20 yards. Mike became the GOAT only because of the elevation of the game with the help of one Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. But Mike brought I guess the word finesse would be the best word I could use. Maybe you guys got a better word. Mike brought the spice to the NBA. And us old schoolers fell in love with the spice that Mike brought. Now LeBron comes in and starts adding the stats. I'm just not really sure why they hate him. He's not one to be hated. I think he's a nice guy myself. I don't know the man. I wish I did. Bronny, if you listen, I need $1 million, man. Hook a brother up. Anyway, the truth of the matter is they dislike LeBron because of, you know, and they've been doing this for years. I'm not saying anything wrong, but it became noticeable when LeBron was shifting and changing and creating his own teams, so to speak. He didn't do it, but he kind of managed to cause it to happen. When he left Cleveland, went to Miami, who do he have over there? He comes back to Cleveland.
Homeless people.
Yeah, he goes back to Cleveland, shuts everybody up, wins a championship, and then takes off again.
Okay.
But with LeBron would never say stuff straight across the board. Like when he left Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
He left at night, like the Cleveland Browns did when they left. You know what I'm saying?
Like Baltimore.
LeBron was more
Like
straight up.
Baltimore, right?
He first
Just
came
like
out.
Baltimore.
Indianapolis had the trucks there at night, right?
There you go. He was loading while he was talking.
When he first came out, he come with all these things underneath, you know, talking about it, getting everything ready, and then do it on the slide. And a lot of people didn't like that. And a lot of people hated LeBron for doing that, you know, because, you know, everybody's waiting to make this big announcement, what he was going to do, because he was always a great player. And everybody loved him when he first came out. But when he started doing stuff like that, that's when the tide started to turn, I think.
But you know what, Larry, add what you just said. Think about it. Even in his high school years, the media had LeBron pumped to the hills. LeBron was darn near on pro status in high school. Why
Yes.
that you had ESPN following this man's high school games? Come on now.
Don't forget, Knight gave him $90 million when he was in high school.
Thank you.
$90 million.
Thank you.
See, I said they used that for an excuse because nobody said nothing when Kevin Garnett said he wanted to leave Minnesota. And he spoke. He said, "Look, I'm not going unless they bring Ray Allen with me to team up with Paul Pierce."
But he was still traded, though, right?
No, I mean, they did it regardless how they did it. He picked it.
They did it above board, though.
It was above board and requested.
I'm saying they said
But they didn't have to listen to him.
No, I understand
LeBron James, they couldn't say nothing.
He was a free agent.
No, but what I'm saying is, he talked about making a super team. People use that excuse. But oh no, he ran with these guys, regardless whether he was traded or left on his own or not. Kevin Garnett.
But the reason you found out was because of the paper, not because LeBron told you. Next thing you know, guess what?
Yep, he was
No,
already.
he said it on TV. That's wrong now. He came out on TV and said, "I'm taking my talents to Miami."
That's after he was there. He was
Hey, John, he was already in Miami when he made that announcement.
Yes, he was.
Let me ask you a question. Supposing LeBron on that same situation would have said, "I'm staying in Cleveland," it would have been the same situation. He would have gave the $1 million to the boys club, and he was staying in Cleveland with no problem. As soon as he said, "I'm going to Miami," it was a problem.
Everybody got mad.
I mean,
was so sure he was going to.
If he had said, "I'm staying in Cleveland," it would have been okay. It would have been okay. Would have been no problem whatsoever. So it wasn't the fact that because he left, it's the fact that the way he did it, he was a free agent, man. It was the fact that they were looking for an excuse.
He never ran out on nobody.
Right. They were looking for an excuse on LeBron James.
I don't think so.
No, they're looking for an excuse on LeBron. Even now, they're trying to find an excuse on him.
That's what I'm saying.
They're trying to find an excuse on LeBron.
And you know what? After what, 20 years, where they come up with? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Never ran out on nobody. Every time you ever left, he was a free agent.
I mean, you look at Michael Jordan. I mean, Michael's out there gambling. You know, him and his dad doing a whole lot of,
Tigers.
I mean, right. I mean, doing all
You're 22.
the book, you know, cheating on his wife and everything. I mean, people love that kind of dirt. But when you being a nice guy doing the right thing, they hate on you. That's all I'm saying. Because they can't find no dirt on him. Can't find no dirt on the guy.
Well, listen, we're not going to sit there and challenge that. I'm trying to keep this PG and out of the political arena because look at the color of your skin. That's been going on in every genre, whether it was music, sports, social, political, whatever the case may be. That's always been the genre. But we're going to leave that alone because the truth of the matter is at the end of the day, LeBron is LeBron. Michael's going to be the GOAT until we recognize what LeBron has accomplished. And when he retires, that's when we're going to
already got it. We already got it. We're waiting on you, Bishop.
You ain't waiting on me. I'm going to tell you. See, I'm a Dr. J, a fan of Dr. J. So if you really want to go out of me, I'm going to say Dr. J because, you know, to me, that was the beginning of that momentum that the NBA began to experience. But that's just my opinion.
I'm with you on that, brother.
Well, your GOAT only got one ring, Bishop.
That's quite. I don't care how many rings he got. The fact that he windmilled Michael Cooper made me feel good. The ABA, he was the reason why the ABA, although they didn't have any money, he was the reason why the excitement in ABA basketball became what it is. I never heard of a Kentucky Colonel until I heard of a Dr.
He had John Williamson backing him up.
Is that right?
All right, so it's 7 o'clock. So Bishop, and thank you everybody. Good Bishop, would you mind closing us out tonight?
All right, and just for a moment, I know this is the last show for the year 2024. If you could take 5 more minutes and get everybody a chance to do the year in review, your memorable moments. Because this show has had some memorable moments, man, especially in football. We've had them 40-minute discussions on one topic, like the one we just had. So if you give them a minute, then we'll go ahead and close out in prayer. I won't start. I'll end with prayer.
Anybody want to go first?
I'll start out.
Go ahead, Larry.
I'll start. When I came in, I was trying to show everybody how Kansas City was the cream of the crop. How they were just trying to pull their team together just to get to the first Super Bowl. Then after they did it again twice, after they did it 2 times in a row, and I tried to explain to everybody that all we was doing was practice. Practice for 18 games. And after the practice, time and time again, the cream rose to the top. Even though no receivers coming in, they ain't see that got that great running back, but KC found a way to make what they had come to the top. You know, just like I said before, for the third time, coming to you, Larry let you know that the Kansas City Chiefs gonna do a 3-peat in 2025.
After that, we ready for some prayer now.
No, but I mean, go ahead, somebody else, because I mean, I kind of got something I just want to just kind of share with you. Huh? All right. If nobody else is going to go, I'm going to say this to those of you that are watching us. We want to thank you for spending this past season with us. We saw some great things. If you look on the college level, we saw a Connecticut-based team, the UConn Huskies, come in and go back-to-back in their national titles. We got to meet Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark up close and personal. One of the great rivalries in basketball. Let's not forget South Carolina. And now the new talk is Juju out there in USC. We got to see, of course, Larry mentioned Kansas City roll in and win yet another Super Bowl. We saw a great, well, I won't say great World Series for the New York side, but a great World Series out of the Dodgers. And, you know, we saw a Florida team finally win a Stanley Cup. That's kind of different. It's 100 degrees in Florida, but they're winning Stanley Cups on ice. That's kind of interesting. We've seen the shifts and change in the NBA, the in-house tournaments that have taken place. Right now, Milwaukee being this year's champion. So all I'm trying to say to you is sports integrates each and every one of us. And for those of you that are watching, it's always fun to come, have that moment to agree, to disagree. But at the end of the day, fellowship is what counts the most. And the greatest accomplishment for WJRG is what you're seeing here. This fellowship, along with the other entities that make up this great station and this great, and let me not forget KMI, Kingdom Media International. Keep your eyes open, okay? If you got stock in it, we going up. So don't waste your money. Go ahead. Buy that stock. We going up. Nonetheless,
don't forget Notre Dame women, man.
I'm getting to them. I mean, I'm trying to get everybody in. That's why I want everybody to put a piece in there. We saw a couple of great boxing matches over the years and, some MMA matches. I mean, a lot of great things taking place. You know what makes America great again? When people like ourselves can get on the airwaves, have a conversation, agree to disagree, and then come back, like I said earlier, the fellowship. And we appreciate you. And on behalf of Dr. Jerry Green, the legend Bruce Austin, Big Don Productions, Henry Green, Larry Pearson, Walter T, my man Kendall Tyson, and yours, Bishop Ernest E. Richard, we wish you the most blessed 2025. Let 2025 be the year of the drive. What is it that you want to do? Go on and do it. Let's pray, fellas. Father, we thank you for what you've already done. Thank you for 52 weeks of great times, God. Thank you that we've seen this year come and we've seen this year go. We've seen ups and downs, God. We've seen a lot of different things, but through it all, you've been right there with us. And we just bless you for every mountain you brought us over, for every valley you brought us through, for every crooked path you had to straighten out. We bless you, God, in our own personal lives. Some of us had loved ones that were going through sicknesses, diseases, and things, going through illnesses and some setbacks. Some of us may have dealt with some financial setbacks, but God, yes, you brought us through. And each time you brought us into WJRG and onto this sports talk, God, we were able to lay aside our daily routines, take a few minutes and just laugh and joke and cry and just have a good time before you. God, even before we leave here, we just send out condolences to the Carter family in the loss of one of the great presidents that we had here in these United States, and former President Jimmy Carter. God, we pray, God, that you would relieve the heartache in their family. God, thank you for the time you've allowed us to keep him. And even more so, as we're looking forward to the new president about to make his way in, God, we ask that you keep him in the hollow of your hand, that God, he would lead, guide, and guard this country the way you would want it to be done. Now, as we leave this place, but never your presence, always, always, always help us to have the right direction. Keep us in correction. Help us to ingest the meat of your word, God. Help us to drink the sincere milk for those who need it. More importantly, God, help us to stay focused on you with our heads to the sky. Keep looking to the hill from which cometh our help. Now unto him who's able to present us faultless before his throne, to the only wise God be glory, majesty, dominion, and power. And all the men of God say amen.
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 God bless you.
Everybody have a happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Henry, let me just say one thing to everybody as well.
Go ahead.
This is the last show of 2024. I want to thank you guys personally. You know, we had a great year, and I know I'm looking forward to the next year. You know, we accomplished what we wanted to do with Big Don Production. We're on television, so I give God all the glory. But I want to thank you personally for being a part of the team. You know, so sometimes I can be a little rough, you know, but we're going. You know, we got a plan that we're trying to a goal that we're trying to reach. So I want to thank you guys for your dedication, for your loyalty. I want to thank you, Henry, for your sports topics every week. You know, it means a lot to me because you help me out a lot. Thank all you guys for your loyalty and for your commitment. That's what I want to say as we go forward. All right.
Go Vikings.
You're doing great, brother. You're doing great.
We thank you, Jerry, for just putting this thing together.
Great New Year.
Oh, and by the way, there's still a couple of weeks left on the Vikings bus. So if you want to join Larry, it's okay.
We got Kendall. Kendall's on the bus. I mean, I
already hey, I'm personally inviting Larry because Cincinnati's going to make it and they going home. So Larry,
Man, I thought you guys
That's a dream.
Go ahead, Henry.
I thought Kendall was on the Eagles.
Hey, kid,
right now, the Viking bus.
Man, you know I got no
Kendall's on the Vikings bus.
He told you he was on everybody's bus. He got tickets for everybody.
No loyalty, man.
Hey, Jerry, you ever seen that guy that says, "That's my side"? That's Kendall.
On his helmet.
I'm just saying we got 3 people.
The Eagles knock the Vikings out. He can come back on with the Eagles.
All right.
Yeah. Well, the problem is Vikings ain't getting knocked out. They're going to meet Kansas City, and I'm going to predict the score now. 28-21. Patrick Mahomes is going to work his magic, and he's going to find out a guy named Pace Jr. is going to intercept that one pass he didn't mean to throw.
If they do that, ain't no doubt. I think Donald should get paid like Dak if that's the case.
Whoa.
Hey, we should get paid just like that.
Then instead of bothering Larry, we're going to bother you, all right?
He ain't gonna get paid then.
And I already told Jerry, I don't want him to bow. I'm just going to use those 3 famous words. I told you so. And it's 4 words, actually. That's all.
Again.
I told you so is all I'm going to say. And then I'm going to just do this. And you see him back there. Come on, Stone.
All I do is win. All I do is win. That's all. All I do is win. That's it.
All right, don't
We'll
worry.
see you guys. I see you guys in 2025. God's blessing be upon you.
No job. All right, man.
All right.
I'm blessed.
Have a good one.
Thank you, bro.